Hello, parents and guardians. My name is Shane Gooprode. I'll be working with your child in the Create House for the STEM project. So this semester, we're going to be doing a 5-week-long STEM project where we're going to use the problem-solving process. We call it the STEM problem-solving process or the design process. So they're going to use this to then solve a problem. So now, some people sometimes ask, what is STEM? Well, STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, mathematics. So one thing that's great about STEM is we actually combine a lot of the different content areas. So of course, science, and we of course do engineering, we learn how to use technology. There's a good amount of math in it, and there's actually literacy as well. So that's one thing that's really nice. One thing that's nice this time around is we're going to be combining literacy, science, and math type content within the STEM problem solving process. And then those students will of course be getting assistance from Mrs. Gerke, Mr. Steger, Mrs. Laird on those different subjects. So in terms of why is this important? Why is learning STEM or doing STEM important? Well, just like science, math, and other content areas, they're using some sort of process to solve a problem. So going through some sort of process to solve a problem, back and forth between different steps and knowing where to go and those types of things. And then there's of course all kinds of different skills that the students have to have between these different steps. I was very privileged to spend some time at MIT over this last summer, and they said the main thing that they're looking for in students is people that are able to problem solve. Not necessarily people that just have like perfect grades or something like that, but students that are able to problem solve and persist, be creative, and think flexibly. So this STEM problem-solving process gives your child the opportunity to gain those skills of problem-solving, opportunity to persist, and plenty of opportunities to be creative and think flexibly. To get an idea of what this student experience looks like I said, we're going to go through these different steps, and depending on what level the student's at, so if they're an 8th grader and they've already done this a few times, they're good with this, well, this is more flexible for them and they can kind of go back and forth with how they need to. And if this is their first time through this, like if they're a 6th grader and this is their first time through this, then we're going to offer some more support for them and help them out. And then, of course, students in between. Maybe there's 8th graders that need the support. Maybe there's 7th graders that need the support, and so on. So we, of course, are going to offer that support. In the newsletter is a link to this interview. This is a student interview, and this is a product that this student made last year. He made something that he 3D printed. So you can check that out, and that his explanations kind of show you a little bit step-by-step what the student experience looks like. A big resource that the students will be using this time around, something that I have created and am working on and continually upgrading and so on, is what we're calling the STEM matrix. So this huge thing here, these are the different steps of the design process, and then we have these different levels from training to bronze to silver to gold to diamond. So like in general, 6th graders are going to be in this training and bronze area. A lot of the 7th graders are going to be working on the silver area, and a lot of our 8th graders are going to be bouncing between the silver and gold area. So that's kind of how that works. So if we zoom in on some of these areas, it's like, let's say, for example, bronze. It tells us a little bit about what bronze looks like. And then it says these bullet points are the expectations of what the student's able to do in order to achieve a bronze level medal for, let's say, step 2. Within that same step, so within this box, are lessons that the students would then be doing to then be able to learn and then practice being able to meet these expectations. So we'll sometimes have some student examples, we'll have some resources, we'll have lessons. Some of those lessons will be video lessons. For example, I'll use something called educanon.com. This is an example of what the video lesson looks on my end. So the student would go through this. I try and keep them as short as possible, like under 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes. And then within these video lessons, there'll be like points where they have to pause and think, or the student has to draw something, or the student has to answer a question. Then we also have other assignments and practice assignments, and then some of these steps, of course, have benchmarks as well for the students to prove that they learned these things. So as much as possible, I'm really trying to have the students to go on their path and make this very personalized. So in order for a student to know what they should be doing, in general, we just work our way through the steps. And then we'll have our different lessons. We start at the top of the list, work our way down. The students will also share with you their log of what they have been completing in terms of what day they completed it and what time. So this is an example log of where the students should be at this point by Friday. They can take a look at the example log to figure out where they should be. And of course, so we're splitting up in different groups with the teachers assisting the students that need the assistance, and so on. We'll eventually get to the point where the students finally make their solution. They test it out, so they're going to actually write a very nice experiment with procedures and look at how to get qualitative and quantitative data. They're going to analyze that data and so on. And by the time they are done, they should have a product that works. Hopefully it works well. So one question I have for you is, are you or do you know somebody that's in an industry that's related to something that our students will be working on, or something that they might be creating, or something they might be doing, whether it's design related or electronics, something related to what the students might be making, so then we can use our industry professional as a resource, whether it's by email, whether the industry professional actually comes in and works with the students and so on. So please let me know if you do know of somebody that they might be interested in somehow helping our students. Thank you very much for your time. And if you have some more questions, just let me know. Thanks.